Hey guys, it's ToProForuGames or Adam, and welcome back to another one of my Fortnite top 5 videos. But before we start off today's video, I do quickly want to mention the last couple of Fortnite top 5s, you guys, have been absolutely insane. So we're going to go ahead and keep it going. For today's video, we're giving away 3 gift cards, 2 $20 PSN cards, and 1 $20 Xbox card to enter. It's so easy. All you have to do is drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment right now what platform do you play Fortnite on. Also, if you guys have a Twitter account, please put your username with your comment, because if you do win, it makes it a lot easier for me to contact you. And like always, guys, one of the PSN cards will be hidden somewhere in this video, so it's first come first serve for that one, but I'll be giving away the other 2 cards over the next couple of days. But besides that, today's top 5 is going to be the top 5 worst places to land here in Fortnite. There's definitely a ton of videos on YouTube talking about the best places to land, the best places to find loot, but what are the worst places to land in Fortnite? What are some of the spots you want to avoid at all costs? In this video, guys, we'll be going over 5 of my least favorite spots to land here in Fortnite, and you guys should definitely never ever land here. Besides that, guys, let's go ahead and start off today's top 5 video. Let me start by saying that you can't really judge a place based on the loot you get, because loot is completely random here in Fortnite. You can get a gold scar literally anywhere on the map, so we have to judge a place based on the chest spawns or the amount of chests you can get in a particular area, because the more chests equals the better chance of getting that good loot we desire. So coming in at the number 5 spot on my list, we have Haunted Hills. I've always heard bad things about Haunted Hills, and I really never have gone there. Now, of course, for the sake of this video, I went there a bunch of times, and I kind of understand why people really don't like Haunted Hills. But at the same time, I think it's not as bad as people think. Now, let me just start off by saying the obvious. It's really out of the way. It's in the top left-hand corner of the map, and if you do land here, you're going to be doing a lot of running, because the circle is rarely in the top left-hand corner of the map. You might be lucky in getting that first circle, but endgame, no way in hell. Now, as for chest spawns, there's games where I had like 6, 7 chest spawns, like a ton of them. Then there's games where I have literally nothing there. So it's either a hit or a miss, and that's why I don't think it's worth landing here, because if it was consistent with the chest spawns, alright, I could totally see landing here, but since it's so far the way, you don't really want to risk landing that far, away from the circle and that, far up in the map and get bad loot. Then you're kind of screwed for the entire game. So Haunted Hills is okay, but I definitely don't recommend landing here. So coming in at the number 4 spot on my list, we have Dusty Depot, and this is definitely an interesting landing location, because Dusty is kind of close to the center of the map. I always find that it's always in the circle, which is definitely a good thing. It's also close to some really popular spots like Salty Springs and Retail Row, so it's close to a couple of places. But the thing is with Dusty is it's really a hit or a miss, and I actually find that there's always somebody landing at Dusty like every single game, at least a couple of players. And since there isn't a ton of loot at Dusty, you only have a couple of chests, and sometimes there's not even that. Sometimes only 1 or 2 chests in all 3 of these hangars, so it can really go bad for you. And if you end up getting some bad loot and you want to make your way to Salty Springs or Retail Row, there's way more loot there and there's more players there. So if you're already at a disadvantage going into a place where people have more loot, you're probably gonna die and lose that gunfight. So that's why I just don't like Dusty Depot. It's a great location, but you just don't get that good loot, and since you're surrounded by other popular spots, you're kind of screwed if you don't get that good loot. The best way to use Dusty is to land either at Salty or Retail Row, loot there, get what you need, and then make your way over to Dusty and see what loot is left, or kill players who were looting there and did start there. But using Dusty as a starting point definitely isn't a good idea. So coming in at the number 3 spot on my list, we have Wailing Woods, and this spot right here, I feel like it used to be a really popular spot back when Fortnite first came out, but not really so much anymore. The thing about Wailing Woods is, first of all, it's kind of out of the way. It's not as out of the way as a place like Haunted Hills, but it's still kind of out of the way, and within Wailing Woods, the only real place to loot is that maze in the center, and in that maze, you'll have like a, I guess a little house in the middle of the maze, and if you're lucky, you'll get one chest to spawn in there, and there might be a couple of chests that spawn within the maze, but on average, you're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 chests in that entire area, and that's really not all that good. Now, the one thing that Wailing Woods does offer that's really awesome is getting tons of resources, getting tons of wood, and since you're kind of outside of the, you know, main landing spots, you're kind of on the edge of the map, it's really easy to kind of go around and get tons of materials in that area, which is really awesome and really important for that end game. But as for a landing spot, a starting area, it's definitely not a good idea. And when you're landing here, one of the most annoying things in the world is getting caught on a tree and then taking massive fall damage, because if you touch a tree, you'll actually land on it, and then you want to get down and you take just insane fall damage. I absolutely hate that, and Wailing Woods in general is one of my least favorite areas on the map. When the final circle is here, it is absolutely brutal because there's so many places to hide, you can't really see people in Wailing Woods. I don't like it, and I highly recommend avoiding this area as a landing spot. So coming in at the number 2 spot on my list, we have a very interesting selection. I want to have a shocker or an oddball on this list, so I decided to go with Tilted Towers, because this is a place you either really like or you absolutely hate it. Now, I completely understand why people like this place so much, because so many people like to land here, and you can get a ton of kills if you're playing solo, duos, or squads, so having that high kill game is always nice. But with that being said, making it out alive at Tilted Towers definitely isn't an easy thing to do, since there's so many players competing for that loot. If you don't get your hands on some good loot right away, you know, there's a really good chance that you're just going to die, and then you have to completely restart. Now, personally, I'm not crazy about Tilted Towers, and the main reason why is because of the RNG, right? Fortnite is just, it's so RNG, right? It's just first person to get that good loot has a significant advantage. And if you land at Tilted Towers and you get a common pistol while the person in the same building might get a purple semi, then you're instantly at this massive disadvantage. And I'm not saying you can't get the kill, but it's just, it can be kind of frustrating when that happens. But overall, Tilted can be really fun. It can be so rewarding coming out of there with like 10, 12 kills in solo. But guys, there's other places on the map. Let's spread it out a bit and not go to Tilted all the time. So coming in at the number 1 spot on my list, hands down the worst place to land here in Fortnite. And this time, guys, we're actually serious, unlike Tilted Towers, but the worst place to land in all of Fortnite Battle Royale has to go to Junction, and the name suits it perfectly because all you'll find here is a pure junk. It's crazy how bad the loot is here, and on top of that, it is in the top left-hand corner of the map, so it is very far from everything else besides Haunted Hills. It's right beside Haunted Hills, so if you don't get great loot here, you can make your way over to Haunted Hills, which was also on this list, and you might get lucky and get some loot there. But as for Junction, there's just nothing here. It's absolutely crazy how there's like little to no chests, and just finding weapons in general here, you're not gonna have a lot of luck. The only good thing about Junction has to be the materials, because Junction is full of these crushed cars, and you can get a ton of steel from this area, which is, again, the only good thing. And if you're gonna land in the top left-hand corner, it's either for that challenge, because I think the llama is located in this corner, so either for for the challenge, or you're just better off going to Haunted Hills and just completely ignoring Junction, because this place is truly the worst place to land here in Fortnite Battle Royale. So there we have it, guys. Those are 5 places you never land here in Fortnite Battle Royale, and all these places, besides Tilted Towers, are just really, really bad landing spots or starting points in the game. Even Tilted Towers can be a little bit crazy, but that place is more fun and hectic than anything. But besides that, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more Fortnite Top 5s. Remember, to enter the giveaway, it's really easy. Like, subscribe, and then comment what platform you play Fortnite on, and you'll be entered. Besides that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.